Well, I'm out here again. I'm looking into getting some sand shrimp. I have my 1 gallon jug that I converted, milk jug converted for collecting the sand shrimp. And I have my shrimp pump right there. Well, this isn't a sand shrimp getting video, but I'll show you a couple. This is a how did I make that shrimp pump video. Anyway, I'm gonna show you some sand shrimp pumping. All right, anyway, I'm gonna walk up here, stick this in there, pump some out. One there, 3 there, one over there, 1 there. So it does a pretty good job of pumping. That's why I'm going to show you how to make these. So now it's time to go play, and then I'll show you how to make one of these. I guess the first thing to tell you is the rubber piece on the end's an arbor. That's a 1/2 inch cap, 1/2 inch pipe. That there's a 1.5 inch plug cap. It's smooth inside. Going down to an elbow with a handle. And this here's part of this, you know, the pipe, its piece is left over. Plus a section of 1.5 inch pipe. What you will need to do with that is a pile of stainless steel washers, 2 lock nuts, and 1 2.5 inch 1/4 inch bolt. And these are 1/4 inch lock nut, stainless steel, all of them. And I'm going to say stainless steel as much as you can use for the fact it's rusty here, it's rusty here, and those are the original washers from the arbor. So moving over here to an arbor, I'll explain it really quick. It's for barrel sanding. I had a couple of these left over from work when we used to have to pay for them. Okay, barrel sander. Sandpaper goes on it, if you haven't seen it. And that would be how that sands your parts. Okay, so what we want to do is remove this bolt and put the stainless steel stuff on there. Okay, so in pieces, here is your 1/2 inch cap with your 1/2 inch pipe, 1/2 inch elbow. Here is your 1.5 inch cap with your 1.5 inch pipe. If I said anywhere here 2 inch or 2.5, they're 1.5 inch. 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch. Anyway, I'll get back to you when I break this arbor down. There's the arbor broke down. That's a bolt with backwards threads, backwards threaded nut. These 2 big washers. I just didn't find any stainless steel washers when I was looking for them. So anyway, I'll get back to you on putting them together. By the way, 10 washers, 2 lock nuts, and 1 2.5 inch bolt. And why so many washers? When you squish down the arbor, the rubber piece, you might run out of threads. So I'll get back to you once I've assembled the arbor with this stuff. Okay, the first tools you're going to need, of course, was a tape measure, a wrench, and a socket set. Now I already assembled the arbor. You put the washer and the bolt through with that big washer, and that's going to rust. And then you put the other washer where it was. And then some washers between the big washer, some stainless steel washers, and a lock nut. You tighten it down. Now the reason why you tighten it down, and I'm going to set this tripod up, see if I can angle it right. And tip. Okay, come on. Okay, the reason why is because you want the arbor to fit tight in the pipe and slide it in and out with some resistance, because that'll cause your suction. Alright, so now that you've tightened that lock nut up against about 5 washers, you'll put these other washers on in between the lock nut and this PVC pipe. So the next step, we're gonna drill this pipe out, a 1/4-inch hole. Next tool needed is a cordless drill or a corded drill with a 1/4-inch drill bit. Now I've got a smaller drill bit on here so I can do a pilot hole first. And be aware, these can be jumpy, so you might want to clamp them down if you're not used to a drill. Anyway, just drilled through. Now I'll get the next size of drill bit up and we'll get it. Okay, so here we go. Next size, 1/4-inch. Okay, I'm going to take one washer off, or one washer. I'm going to take a few washers off, put it in the hole like so, drop the washer down the hole, and it looks like we only needed 7 washers. But now I'm dropping the lock nut in the hole, and it's 7/16 to do this 1/4-inch. And now I just have to tighten the cap, right, like so. Tighten it with the lock nut. Tighten it really tight too. Alright, now I'm going to double check the fitting. It still works. Good. So what we got to do left here is go to the 1/2-inch PVC pipe and glue this cap on. Next tool is a piece of sandpaper, and you're going to want to sand the PVC pipe. It gives it a little bonding surface. Now if by chance your arbor is too loose and you need to adjust it more, you can get a small open-ended wrench here, tighten this lock washer to that nut, and that'll tighten this up if it gets too loose. Now you won't be able to get the pipe off, you're just going to have to try and do that and tighten it. And then this cap might be a little loose, but it's still a lock washer to a washer to a washer to a, I meant lock nut by the way, a lock nut from a washer to a regular lock nut also. This might, if it ever comes loose, it's fine, it's still glued in. So now that we sanded, we'll glue them on with some PVC glue. What I've got here is a PVC glue. It's all purpose. I know it's going on too thick for my application, but it'll dry. But anyway, you take and slip it on, let the glue dry like so, and that's a thick amount of PVC glue. So we'll let it dry and I'll get back to you on length fitment next. There is one step I should be doing before I do length fitment. Here's this cap. There's 2 things actually I need to do. I'll take the cap and I'll slip the cap on so it's on there tight. I need breather holes, so I drill, once the cap goes on tight, I drill a hole there and I turn it around, I drill a hole there, then I'll knock the pipe off. I'm just sliding it back and forth until it pops off. These help it breathe to draw the suction in. That's important. And the measurement on this pipe I'm following is the main pipe is going to be 33 3/4 of an inch. It's what scrap I had left over from the prior shrimp pump from 2-3 years ago. Okay, before I do pipe fitment, I need to drill a hole through this, so I'll get back to you on that next. Next tool, 3/4 of an inch paddle bit. It's not quite wide enough, so we're going to have to ream the hole out. So 3/4 inch paddle bit to the next hole. So what we'll do is we'll center it up, eyeball center it the best we can. This cap acts as a guide for the rod that goes inside. So I'm going to hold it. I know you should be clamping this down. I don't have a clamp out here. You want to start the hole on one side, and it's a little off center, but that's okay. And this is where it can grab. And then you start the hole on the other side. It can be dangerous. I know this. It's starting to tear a hole differently than what I want. And by the way, PVC shatters, so you got to be careful. There we go. So now I have a crude hole, and I'll get to the next tool. The next tool is a file bit for my drill. I actually couldn't find what I was looking for, either another barrel sander or a square or something that was more cylinder file bit, but this will work. You just want to make this bigger, and you just go round and around, and it's called reaming the hole. I'm just getting some of the plastic out of the pipe hole, and the plan is to get it to fit in that hole. Okay, here's the important part. We take this end, we shove it in the hole into the tube, and then we put this pipe on with the hole that's been reamed out, or the pipe cap. We slip it over this, and we put it on tight. Just tap it on tight, like so, where those bleeder holes barely show. And at this end, we want to shove that until it's flat to the bottom here. Okay, so we're going to do that where it's flat to the bottom, and what we want to do is get this elbow to fit over that much pipe. Let's say 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. We're going to use a saw, and the saw is another tool. Cut that. Okay. And then we need a handle. Handle only needs to be about 6 inches. I'm eyeballing it. We're going to cut it again. Okay, like so. This isn't needed, it's just extra. Anyway, the 1/2 inch material I got from a greenhouse I had, and I had a self-watering system, so I had these pipes. That's cool. Anyway, you want to sand the areas that you're going to do glue, like so. This one here, I'm just going to do it on the pipe here as it sits. Like so. We'll just keep moving along here. I never glued any of this stuff because it was just gravity fed with water, and I wanted to make it removable, so that's what I did. Okay, sanded. Those are the ends that are sanded. I will get the pipe glue out again. Just a little bit. Goes a long ways. So, alright, slimy stuff. First I'll do this pipe here. I'll just put a little glue around it like so. A little bit more, if you got that on camera. And then a little bit around this. Pipe glue's put away, and I'll shove this tightly into that hole, and I'll shove this tightly into that hole. Now, again, I'm going to knock this cap off. And the reason why you don't glue this is for easy cleaning. Okay? So here it is. There's my made shrimp puller. And I will set it down here, let the PVC glue do its drying. And it's called all-purpose cement, and it's for PVC and other ABS, other stuff. So, okay, so here's my old one. I'll set that out, and then I'll bring this up like so. And here's the new one. See the all rusty on the old one there? The new one is fresh. Now I didn't find any stainless steel washers that can help smash that rubber down. I wish I could. But here it is, exactly how this one is. Handle's a little longer here. If it's too long for me, I might shave it down a little bit, because I only need to grip this much. So I could get rid of 2 inches. The length of the pipe, the length of the draw stem, it's up to you. It's how tall are you. Do you have to bend over too much? You know. Anyway, I'll get back to you for the wrap up at the beach so we can finish this how to make a shrimp pump. I did forget to mention one valuable thing, and that's cost. Your most expensive stuff, if you don't scavenge, is your stainless steel bolts, nuts, and washers. Random PVC glue if you have it in the cupboard. Like I said, I did the PVC pipe for my greenhouse. I had leftovers. When I built this pipe, I had to actually went and bought it. I don't remember how much the cost was, but I had leftovers. That was it. Anyway, the arbor, I did go to Home Depot and see what they have, and I will show you that clip. So we'll get back to you on that. But anyway, the cost, you'll have to scavenge. Okay, here in Washington State, and I'm sure somewhere else in the United States, there is places, or they're called Waste Not, Want Not. Ours is Habitat for Humanity. They actually have builder supplies that you can go in there and purchase, so those are places to find some of these supplies. But I happen to have some on hand, so I was able to build most of this without knowing what the cost was. So anyway, if you're paying for sand shrimp live in Montesano, that's the only place I know, there's a Chevron gas station there. You get a dozen there, you pay a price. If you do a lot of fishing and you like using that sand shrimp, this will pay for itself. After using my new sand shrimp pump, I showed you I don't glue here where I put the vent holes. That's so that I can take and pull it apart and rinse it in the water. I can clean them. So now that they're clean, I can take them home, rinse them in fresh water. That'll hopefully keep that from rusting as fast. It will rust though. And then when we put it back together, just tap it back down to the vent holes. I can already tell you that this shrimp pump is not in adjustment. So when I tip the barrel or the handle, see how the handle just slips down? It's just not tight enough yet. But I'm down at the beach to finish this video. I still can adjust this to where it'll pump. And I've got sand shrimp in front of me. All I want to do is show it pump sand shrimp, and that'll be the end of the video for making this sand shrimp pump. So here we go. So on that pump, I got 2 sand shrimp. They're smaller, right there. And I know when I get, I'll put them in the water. I'm not here to collect them actually, I'm just here to show the video. Anyway, when you get water in here and sand, yeah, it'll cause a better seal. So let's try it again. And it looks like it's doing good. 3 sand shrimp that time. Here's another one right here. So that was a bigger one. Anyway, tide's coming in. I had to come right after work and show you. So if you like this video, please press like. If you want to see more of my types of videos, hit that notification bell. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. It'll go a long ways to help me make more videos. They're back in the water. Thank you for watching. A little bit at a time. A little more. That's better. Yep, much better.